Have you ever met someone who is angry at the very start of the day? And that's not only one morning, like it's not only Monday. So it's not about Monday blues. It's like from Monday to Sunday, he wakes up every morning angry. Have you ever met people who are in this constant habit of blaming other people for their faults? It's like they're constantly blaming people. It's your fault if I'm wrong. It's your fault. You never listen to me. You never do what I say. It's like this constant habit of blaming. Ever notice these people? Ever notice these people who are constantly irritated? It's like if they say something and it's a sentence or a paragraph of 4 sentences, so 2 are very critical and 2 can, okay, they go through. Ever been around people who can get very snappy? I mean, you have to really pay attention because if you really bug them, I mean, they can bite you. Do you have a person in mind like that? Well, that's what I call an angry person. That's what I call an angry person. You know, there are some people who don't understand what feelings are because they have turned numb, possibly because they feel a lot of anger. Anger is a very natural sentiment. It's a very natural feeling. The issue is that there are some people who stack anger and they build castles on their heart. It's like there isn't an issue that they are able to let go, but they keep track of how many people did their harm. The gospel today talks about them. The first chunk that we heard, the people who Jesus says also commit murder if you're angry at your brother and sister. That we need to understand and qualify a bit. If you read the original Greek, you will understand that that phrase in the original Greek, angry at your brother or sister, is actually written in what it's called the continuous tense. Continuous tense. That means that an action that happened in the past is still happening in the present and will continue to happen in the future. So what Jesus is saying is this: if you're constantly angry at the people around you, this is my advice. Deal with it. This is my advice. That's not a life that you're living. Possibly, that's not good relationships that you are forging. Is it true that it exists long-term anger? Can people be angry and stay angry for years? Answer, yes. Can that anger hurt you in a way that it is a killer, not only of your spiritual life, but also of your way of being in character? Yes. Can that anger, long-term anger, make you feel ugly to other people so people grow cold and they wouldn't really like to be around you? Yes. This is the issue with angry people. That everything gets out of proportion. I mean, even the simplest, most simple thing that they don't like, everything gets out of proportion. So even they start from the very beginning of the day that if, like, for example, if the child did something, didn't take his homework, doesn't want to have breakfast. I mean, these people, this little thing, they blow it really out of proportion. Constantly, every day. So that gets really tiring on yourself and on the other people. That's one. Secondly is this. I do talk a lot to these people. That's my job. And I usually ask them, I try to coordinate them, can you tell me, can we identify at least the people and the situations that make you angry? And you will literally listen to lists of people that did harm and situations that were beyond your control and they are harming you. Lists of people. And that gets me tired, let alone them who are constantly carrying this burden. And then I usually try to corner them even further, and I say to them, okay, have you ever tried to get into a process of reconciling? Same answer always, no. Why? It's complex. Why? Because usually anger is very much associated with other feelings. Feelings never come in singles, they always come in plurals. So you have any feeling of anger, possibly it's also a feeling of fear. or a feeling of being uncomfortable of confronting people. Or at times it's also a feeling of being ashamed that you're actually being angry, or guilty because you are shouting and yelling and slapping people. So, things get fuzzy. But this is the thing for these people. They have mixed, actually they have turned poles on something which is potentially very creative, and it's anger, to something which is actually very destructive, which is violence. Let me explain. In and of itself, feelings are neutral. In and of themselves, feelings are neutral. It's what we do with them that lands us into trouble. So actually, anger, it's like smoke that shows that's fire. Anger means that you're in pain. That's the idea of being angry. Somebody has trespassed you. So let's think about it. If you are a reflective person, you might want to start to listen to that anger, because it will tell you something about yourself. So it will engage you in a process of self-reflection. Why? It will tell you what values you have. It will tell you what beliefs you believe in. It will tell you your perceptions in life. It will tell you whether you are a rigid person or whether you are adapting or trying to adapt to situations that are difficult. So if you actually listen to anger, it actually does a lot of good. Self-reflection. And even if you engage anger, with the people around you, it actually is very good. Why? Because anger will teach you how to be in relations, like how to keep boundaries, how to withdraw when you have to withdraw, how to choose what fights to fight, and what are the nitty-gritties of life that are not really worth investing energy in. How do you deal with that? Well, you have to listen to your anger. Even if you deal with anger in your relationships, if you listen to your anger well, it will probably teach you a lot about honesty. And there are people who crave for honesty. I've heard people say to me, talk to me straightforward. I don't mind anger, but I mind people lying to me. Because honesty breeds trust. And trust always gets people into good relations. Well, that's the potential of listening positively to anger as a God-given feeling. But some people have changed this to this. Some people actually deny feeling angry. Deny it. Let me tell you how. At times I'm in my room and so I'm talking to people, and some people, are very edgy by nature. So I say to them, are you angry? Reply, no. But they're lying. It's obvious they're lying. Their face is already red. Their jaw is very stressed out. You feel that they are edgy. Their non-verbal talks to you of anger and they say no. Second thing, some people have really learned how to absorb pain. Some people are very good to keep cards up their sleeve. Mine is long, okay, it's wide, not because I'm keeping track of yours, okay? But some people say this. I've heard this myself over a long period of time. I won't tell you now how I'm going to punish you. I tell you when time comes, even 2 years down the road. And I say, gosh, this man is very resistant. But listen what happens to relationship. Have you ever been around these people? It's like walking on eggshells. It's like walking on eggshells. You're never comfortable around these people. Why? Because you can never ever say what's going to hit you. If it's going to hit you the brunt of 3 years of constant resentment, or else it's going to be like one simple thing. Third thing that happens to these people, this is like a Grand Prix at times. It's like going from 0 to 100 in less than 3 seconds. At times, these people don't have filters to well project their anger, but they turn violent. And this is the problem. They slap people, they throw people, they throw things at people, they break things, they break people as well. So that's bad. That's bad. That's not okay. Violence is never okay. So this is this spiritual advice that Jesus is saying to you. Deal with it. This is not a life that you're living. And this is not a good way how you can build relationships around you. I want to leave you with these things though. This is my conclusion. For those people who might think that they are angry people and angry men and women, good. I hope that at least this reflection will help you to understand that anger is neutral. It's what you do with it that will land you into trouble. So first of all is this. Recognize when you're angry. Don't deny it. Recognize when you're angry. It has signs and it has body signs. Some people feel tense. Some people feel their pressure going up. Some people feel butterflies in their stomach. But recognize anger. Signs are important. Two. Identify what you're angry about. I mean, if you're angry about one thing, be angry about one thing. Change a little bit perspectives of being angry about one thing, but you feel that the energy is coming out because you're actually angry about 12 things. Keep things into perspective. Keep things into perspective and try to identify what's wrong, what's painful. 3, be humble and talk. Talk to people who by nature are peaceful or they've done their own work. Let me tell you what I notice at times when I go to buy my vegetables at the truck at the corner. So this is what happens. Very interesting. So one woman comes and she looks pretty much upset and she goes and she starts to talk to this other woman who's also buying veggies at the truck. So she says, and the other woman unmistakably, she speaks about her own anger to this woman. So she talks and talks and talks. And I'm watching these people. So now instead of one woman being angry, now we have two. Well, unmistakably, that also would draw a third person, and the third person would come and say, oh, listen, you know what's happening, da 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 da, and then the second person would say, da 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 da, and then the third person would come and say, oh yes, listen to mine. So now we have one person who had one problem. Coming off the truck of vegetables, she has 3 problems, because she heard 3 angry people. That's not a way of doing it. If you want to talk to people, get plugged to people who are peaceful. Or at least they did some of their own emotional work. Final thing, 4, find options. Find options. Call it a day on yourself. If you feel that you're not mature to handle your own emotions, say it. Listen, I'm not good. I need to start to withdraw from things. I need to start to change some perspectives on a couple of things which I don't have control on them, but they irritate me. It's good, you're growing mature. Say it out loud. You know, I need to grow up a little bit more. I need to start to talk first, and if I'm not able to talk, okay, I need to leave for a day or 2 until I'm done, and then I can come back. But find options. Find options. So punchline. Angry people are not living a good life. The spiritual advice for today is this. Deal with it. It can make you actually a happy person, both as a Christian and as a human being. Amen.